कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखदाः आगमापायिनो नित्याः स्थितिक्षस्व भारत यं हि न व्यतयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषर्षभ समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि येन सर्वमिदं ततं विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ताः शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत।
ओम वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम्. In the 14th verse, Sri Krishna says, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, the contact between the senses, that is the Panchendriya, and sense objects gives rise to feeling or fleeting perception or feeling of happiness or sadness, leading to distress. But these are not permanent. They come and go. Like the winter or the summer seasons, they are temporary, do not last forever. O descendant of Bharata, one must learn to tolerate them without getting disturbed. Agamapayanaha means they come and go. They were not there before, they come and will not be there afterward, they go. The human body has Panchendriya, the sight, smell, taste, hearing and touch. The perception of the objects with these five senses lead to pleasure or pain, happiness or unhappiness, and sadness. This is not permanent. The cool winter gives pleasure in summer, and the same cool water, when it is cold in the winter, it causes distress. The water is the same, but your perception changes depending on the season. Hence, a balanced man, Sthita Prajna, should tolerate both and feel the same way without getting disturbed or perturbed. The technique of Vipassana, which is the primary technique of self-realization in Buddhism that came thousands of years later, is based on the same principle as Krishna preached 5,000 years ago. In this verse, the word titiksha is a wonderful word in philosophy. It means whatever obstacles or problems come in life, develop the strength to tolerate them, accepting happiness and unhappiness with the same bhava or equally is titiksha. In the next 15th verse, Sri Krishna explains what happens with titiksha and says, O Arjuna, noblest among the men, Purusha Shrestha, that person who is not affected by happiness or unhappiness in distress, remains steady in both situations, becomes eligible for salvation or liberation. In order to develop this samachitta or steady mind, we must understand and answer the two questions. Why do we desire and crave for the pleasure or happiness? Why the material happiness does not satisfy us? Basically, we are born with the happiness, the bliss as a part of the divinity. Everything that we do in this mortal world is to get happiness or pleasure. The perception of happiness may be different from different people and different situations. Basically, our nature is to be happy. But the material pleasure does not give satisfaction, as we are part of Paramatma, who is ultimate bliss. We as Jivatma, a tiny part of that Supreme Being, is not satisfied with this worldly pleasures. And hence we know Samadukkaha Sukham Dhiram means the real brave or courageous is the one who faces both pleasure and pain with the equal mindset and does not get hurt or becomes angry. Each one of us should learn not to get angry when things are not going the way we want. As Krishna calls anger as the door to the hell, we must be careful in not getting angry and take any situation with the samachitta. Somrutattvaya kalpate means such a dhira or a brave, courageous knows that pain and pleasure are due to one's prarabdha. And because of the prarabdha, which is predetermined as a result of our good or bad deeds or karma phala, one should do the good deeds and become a seeker of Purushashtha. Renouncing the desire of pleasure is not to be greedy. Buddha said desire is the root cause of unhappiness. Thousands of years after Sri Krishna preached to renounce desire. In the 12th century, Basaveshwara and other Sharanas, they called Ase Bhavada Bija. That means the desire is the one root cause which is like a seed and goes into a big tree of misery in this mortal world. Sri Krishna continues to analyze the relationship of life, Jiva, and Jivatma, that is the spirit of life. And in the 16th verse says, bad feeling or good feeling must be accepted equally by Tattvadarshi Mahapurusha. Here Bhagavan describes three elements. Bhusattayam means bhavaha abhavaha. Asbhuvi means asataha sataha. With Sattayam we should observe all these three elements. So Sri Krishna says, Nasato vidyate bhavaha. This body was not there before birth. It will not be there after death. At present it is changing every moment. So it is asat and nashvara. Hence it is not sat. The whole mortal world is burning like wood in the time like a fire. And at least charcoal or ash remains when the wood burns. But in this strange life burning in Kala Rupi Agni, nothing remains. In this Sat Asat, there is only one truth, that is Jivatma, and not the Nashvara body which is going to be destroyed. You are grieving, thinking they will die if you fight with your bow and arrow. One day or the other, they all have to die. Asat has to die someday. In this verse, Sri Krishna uses three words, Pandit, Dhira, Tattvadarshi, which means knowledgeable, courageous and wise. No wise person cries for Asat, which is not true. And in case one cries, then he is not a wise man. Na sato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sataha. In these 16 letters, the summation of all the Vedas, Puranas, Shastras is seen there. Asat and Sat are like Prakriti, Purusha, Kshara, Akshara, Sharira, Shariri, Anitya, Nitya, Nasha, Avinashi. These are the twin opposite words. Nasato vidyate bhavaha means however one gives importance to the mortal things in this world, in reality nobody can get it. Nabhavo vidyate sataha. Satya is eternal. How much ever you ignore Paratattva and they try to run away from the ultimate truth, it will be there always permanently. The world has deficiencies, abhava, but Paramatma, Supreme Being, is complete, says Sri Krishna. He further explains the difference between Sat and Asat in the next two verses. The omnipresent, omniscient, Supreme Being cannot perish. Nobody can destroy that element. Ena sarvamidam tatham. That ever eternal element is sarvavyapi. It is like gold in the gold ornament, like mud in the pottery, like iron in the weapons, like water in the iceberg. This whole world, everything has a God's particle. This truth should be understood by one and all. Ena sarvamidam tatmam means Jivatma is capable of uniting with the Paramatma. This Jivatma is attached to nobody and hence capable of birth and death is caused. This body has to die. So Arjuna, fight without agreeing for anybody's death, says Sri Krishna. So this is the ultimate truth. So we all have to believe in the Satya, that is a Paramatma, and not in this mortal body and grieve for the dead. Sri Krishnarpanamastu Pranama.